Hi guys, how are you all? I hope you all are doing really amazing. So, now I'm starting with question and answers of your economics. All the chapters I'll cover. Okay, we'll cover जो भी जितने भी chapters है. We'll discuss the question and answers for you people. सो आफ्टर यू फिनिश द चैप्टर आपके पास दो टाइप के क्वेश्चन आंसर्स रहते हैं. एक होता है इंटेक्स क्वेश्चन जो चैप्टर के बीच बीच में आता है, एंड यू हैव टर्मिनल एक्सरसाइज जो आपके चैप्टर फिनिश होने के बाद आता है. ठीक है. सो हम यहाँ पे कौन सा डिस्कस करने वाले, क्या हम दोनों डिस्कस करेंगे? ऑफ कोर्स नॉट. जब हमारे पास इंटेक्स क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स बुक के पीछे दिए होते हैं तो वी कैन ईजीली गेट देम. ठीक है. पर टर्मिनल एक्सरसाइज के आंसर्स आप लोग के पास नहीं होते, इसलिए आई विल डिस्कस ओनली टर्मिनल एक्सरसाइज के आंसर्स. ऑल राइट. नाउ क्या इसका मतलब है मैं इंटेक्स कभी भी डिस्कस नहीं करूँगी? ऑफ कोर्स नॉट. इफ़ एनी ऑफ यू हैव एनी डाउट, आपको कोई भी इंटेक्स क्वेश्चन में डाउट आता है, यू कैन जस्ट कॉमेंट डाउन एंड वो क्वेश्चन मैं आपको सॉल्व करने में हेल्प कर सकती हूँ. ओके. अगर आपको जानना है आंसर ऐसे कैसे आया, कोई प्रैक्टिकल चैप्टर है जहाँ सम्स करने होते हैं, उसमें आंसर्स आपको नहीं समझ आ रहा, यू कैन आस्क मी. आई कैन डिस्कस दोज क्वेश्चंस. बट डोंट एक्सपेक्ट कि मैं आपसे सारे क्वेश्चंस जो भी इंटेक्स के दिए होते वो डिस्कस करूं, बिकॉज देन इट मेक्स नो सेंस. ठीक है. तो जो आपको हार्ड लगता है, जो आपको समझ नहीं आता है, वो अगर हम डिस्कस करें इंटेक्स के तो इट वुड बी बेटर. सो नाउ विल मूव ऑन टू डिस्कसिंग टर्मिनल एक्सरसाइज आंसर्स. But make sure that before watching terminal exercise answers, you are done with lectures. Okay. Then you come on to this question and answer, and then you solve past year solved papers. What happens with that? अगर आप ऐसे फ्लो में जाते हो that you finish the chapter first जो अवेलेबल है ऑन द चैनल, फिर आप क्वेश्चन आंसर्स करते हो. ठीक है. देन जब आप सॉल्व करते हो, आपका जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग होता है चैप्टर का वो बहुत स्ट्रांग हो जाता है. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, अगर आप हर चैप्टर में लेक्चर करते हो, फिर क्वेश्चन आंसर करते हो, एंड देन यू मूव ऑन टू सॉल्विंग पास्ट ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर्स, आपके इकोनॉमिक्स में ईजीली, आई मीन हर सब्जेक्ट में अगर आप ऐसे करते हो, यू कैन ईजीली स्कोर वेरी 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 गुड मार्क्स. Starting with chapter number 11, first question is what is meant by price? So, the amount of money given by a buyer to a seller in exchange of a unit of goods or services is treated as price of that goods or service. Next question is what is meant by equilibrium price? So, equilibrium price is the price at which both quantity demanded and supplied of a commodity are equal. Third question is what is meant by equilibrium quantity? So, at equilibrium price, quantity demanded and quantity supplied of a commodity are equal. This quantity is called the equilibrium quantity of the commodity. Fourth question is how is equilibrium price of a commodity determined? Equilibrium price is determined by the market forces of demand and supply of a commodity. Now, fifth question has three different questions. What happens to the price of a commodity when at a given price? तो अगर हमें बताना है कि price of the commodity क्या होगा अगर first quantity demanded of a commodity is greater than its quantity supplied. So what will happen? Price will increase. Okay. Next is quantity supplied of a commodity is greater than its quantity demanded. What will happen? Price will decrease. Okay. Next is quantity demanded of a commodity is equal to its quantity supplied. So price will be same. So there will be no changes price as there will be equilibrium price जहाँ पे quantity demanded और quantity supplied same रहता है. Sixth question is how is equilibrium price of a commodity affected by demand increases but supply remains the same? So when demand increases but supply remains the same, price of the commodity will be increased in order to make demand and supply equal. ये हमने ऊपर भी देखा था, अगर डिमांड ज़्यादा होगी और सप्लाई कम होगा तो उसका क्या होगा इम्पैक्ट कि प्राइस इंक्रीज हो जाएगा. ओके. लास्ट क्वेश्चन इज एक्सप्लेन द इफेक्ट ऑफ डिक्रीज इन सप्लाई ऑफ अ कमोडिटी ऑन इट्स इक्विलिब्रियम प्राइस एंड equilibrium quantity demanded and supplied when its demand remains the same. So, when supply of a commodity decreases but its demand remains the same, Equilibrium price will increase, but equilibrium quantity demanded and supplied will decrease. तो price increase होगा, but quantity demanded and supplied will decrease. Okay. हमने ये चैप्टर लेस देन 5 मिनट्स में क्लोज कर दिया है, नॉट इवन 5 मिनट्स, क्योंकि आप अगर देखोगे तो स्टार्टिंग के 2 मिनट्स तो मैंने सिर्फ आपको एक्सप्लेनेशन जैसा दिया that what are we going to do in this video, right? So we have completed this chapter in around 3 to 4 minutes. अगर आप इस चैप्टर को 2-3 बार भी सुनते हैं तो आपका ये चैप्टर तो एकदम पक्का हो जाएगा that you will be able to write all the answers correct अगर इस चैप्टर से आते हैं तो correct. So we have done this chapter. So let's move on to chapter number 12 also in this video. And also let me know in the comment section whether you are liking this videos, मतलब आपको हेल्प मिल रहा है या नहीं इन वीडियोस से, बिकॉज फॉर यू आई हैव अपलोडेड ऑल द चैप्टर्स का एक्सप्लेनेशन. मैं जब क्वेश्चन आंसर्स आपको पढ़ा रही होती हूँ फॉर द टर्मिनल एक्सरसाइज, आई डोंट गिव एक्सप्लेनेशन ज़्यादा, क्योंकि एक्सप्लेनेशन वीडियो से अलग से आई हैव अपलोडेड. अगर मैं वो भी देने लगूँ तो एक्सप्लेनेशन वीडियो का कोई मतलब नहीं रह जाएगा, राइट? सो अगर आपको हर एक चैप्टर का एक्सप्लेनेशन चाहिए स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम चैप्टर नंबर 1 to chapter number 24, I have uploaded them all on the channel for you. Okay, economics के सारे chapters डले हुए हैं, you can just go to the channel and get them. आप लोग को आसान पड़े इसीलिए मैं क्या करती हूँ, हर एक चैप्टर का जब मैं क्वेश्चन आंसर डाल रही होती हूँ तो डिस्क्रिप्शन में उसी चैप्टर का मैं अंडरस्टैंडिंग वीडियो भी डाल देती हूँ. तो अगर आप देखोगे सपोज ये चैप्टर है, ठीक है, तो इसका ये क्वेश्चन आंसर वाला वीडियो है. तो नाउ इफ़ यू क्लिक ऑन द डिस्क्रिप्शन, करेक्ट, तो वहाँ पे आपको उसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग जो वीडियो है जहाँ पे मैंने एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया है वो भी यहाँ पे डाल रही हूँ, सो दैट अगर आपको वापस से उस पर जाना है, समझना है, फिर इधर आना है तो आप वैसा कर सकते हो. अगर आपको और भी इजी चाहिए कि आपको नहीं मिल रहा है फिर भी, तो मैंने आप लोग सबके लिए प्लेलिस्ट भी बनाई है. सो अगर आप प्लेलिस्ट वाले सेक्शन में जाते हो तो वहाँ पे आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग वाले वीडियोस मिल जाएंगे मॉड्यूल वाइज, प्लस एक प्लेलिस्ट ऐसी भी बनाई है मैंने जहाँ पे आपको टर्मिनल एक्सरसाइज सारे एक साथ मिल जाएंगे. तो आपको इधर उधर ढूंढना भी नहीं पड़ेगा, एवरीथिंग यू कैन गेट इन द प्लेलिस्ट सेक्शन. सो फिर भी अगर आपको नहीं मिलता है, यू कैन ऑलवेज कॉमेंट डाउन एंड लेट मी नो, बट आई होप दीज वीडियोज़ हेल्प यू and you score very good marks. So now let's move on to chapter number 12. So first question is define market. Market refers to the arrangement in a given area where buyers and sellers come in contact with each other directly or indirectly to buy or sell the goods. Second question is define perfect competition. So perfect competition is a market structure where many firms sell a homogeneous product. There is free entry and exit under this market. Buyers and sellers have perfect knowledge about the market situation. Third question is define monopoly. So, monopoly is a market structure in which one firm possesses control over the market. It is a market of single seller who sells a unique product having no close substitutes. Fourth is differentiate between retail and wholesale market. So, in a wholesale market, wholesaler is distributor or middleman who sells mainly to retailers and institutions rather than consumers. In a retail market, retailer is one who sells variety of goods or services directly to the general public. Next is explain the features of perfect competition. So, features of perfect competition, there are 7 points. This answer becomes important, okay? Now, first is large number of sellers and buyers. As against monopoly market, a competitive market has large number of sellers selling the commodity to a large number of buyers. Second is homogeneous product. Under perfect competition, only a single product is sold. This means all the sellers sell the same type of product to the buyers. Third is free entry and exit. Under perfect competition, there is no bar on new firm or producer to enter the market to sell or produce the product. Similarly, if any existing seller wants to exit, then he is free to do so. Fourth point is every seller wants to earn maximum profit. Fifth is the government's role is to provide protection to sellers and do not interfere in business. Sixth is, under perfect competition, sellers and buyers have perfect knowledge about the product. And seventh point is, there is no bar on factors of production such as labor, etc. to move from one production unit to another to do work. Says, explain the features of monopoly. So, there are 4 points again. This also becomes important. A single firm. First feature is a single firm. The monopolist is the only producer of the good. He has got no competitor. Second is no close substitute of the commodity. There are no close substitutes of the commodity produced by the monopolist. Close substitute means another similar product having same use. Third is price maker. The monopolist, being the sole seller of the commodity in the market, decides the price of the commodity as there is no one to challenge his price. The monopolist is a price maker. ये आपके MCQs में भी आ सकता है कि मोनोपोलिस्ट को क्या बोलते हैं, प्राइस मेकर. फोर्थ पॉइंट इज नो एंट्री ऑफ न्यू फर्म. इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर न्यू फर्म्स टू एंटर इन द मार्केट एंड compete with the single seller. Being the single seller of firm, there is no difference between firm and industry under monopoly. And fifth point is, the aim of the monopolist is to maximize profit. नाउ ये आपको किसका अपोजिट लग रहा है, मोनोपोली किसका अपोजिट होता है, आप मुझे कमेंट्स में बताएंगे. एक्सेप्ट कि दोनों का एम होता है प्रॉफिट को मैक्सिमाइज करना, बट बाकी पॉइंट्स टोटली अलग है देन अनदर. वी जस्ट सॉ कि वो कौन सा मार्केट होता है जहाँ पे मोनोपोली का उल्टा होता है. लास्ट क्वेश्चन इज, डू यू थिंक दैट रिटेलर इज कंसर्न्ड अबाउट लोकेशन and presentation of goods that he offers for sale? If yes, then why? Okay, this is also a good question that can be asked to you. Okay, yes, retailer is concerned about location and presentation of goods that he offers for sale because a retail outlet must be located nearer to residential localities so that people can easily come to buy goods and services. The retailer also has to incur lot of expenditure on decoration of offices, shops and proper presentation of the commodities so that the consumers are attracted towards the retail shop. So here we are done with chapter number 12. You all can take a small break. You can pause the video because I think I'll cover chapter number 13 also in this video. क्योंकि ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं हुआ है, so let's just finish chapter number 13 also. Okay, so I hope you all have taken a small break. If not, वीडियो को पॉज करो एंड फटाफट से ब्रेक लेके आ जाओ 5 minutes का, and then we will start. Okay, so first question of this chapter is, what is control price? How does it affect the consumers? So control price is a price which is fixed by the government below the equilibrium price to protect the interest of consumers. This price is fixed by the government because poor people cannot afford to buy certain commodities at equilibrium price. Second question, what is support price? How does it affect the producers? So, support price is the minimum price fixed by the government which is generally higher than the equilibrium price in order to protect the interest of producers. In order to protect the interest of producers, especially farmers, government fixes this price so that producers can at least cover their cost of production. So, third question is, what is token price? What is the purpose behind fixing token price of a commodity? So, token price is the price which is fixed by the government or private charitable institutions far below the per unit cost of production of the commodity. Token price is charged in order to prevent the wasteful use of these services. Otherwise, these services can be made available free of cost also. If these services are provided free, some people may try to stay in hospital for a longer period in order to get free shelter and free food. Now, fourth question is, explain the system of dual price policy. How does it help the poor? So, under dual price system, a part of the total output is sold at control price through fair price shop, and the remaining output is sold in the open market at the prevailing market price. which is determined by the forces of demand and supply without any intervention of the government. Government sells wheat, rice, and sugar to BPL, which is below poverty line, card holder at control price through fair price shops. Fifth question is, how do taxes and subsidies affect the market price of a commodity? So, government imposes various types of taxes on production and sales of the commodities and also on the import of raw material, etc., in the form of excise duty, sales tax, and import duty, respectively. So, these taxes increase the market price of the commodities. On the other hand, government gives subsidy to the producers to sell some goods at a lower price in order to make the commodity available to the common man at a reasonable price. Thus, an increase in subsidy leads to decrease in market price of the commodity. Last question is, what is meant by public distribution system? Explain its essential elements in brief. So, to help poor people, public distribution system is adopted. Under the system, essential commodities like wheat, rice, sugar, etc. are made available to the common man at cheaper rate through fair price shops called ration shops. Elements of public distribution system in India. First is subsidy. Government gives subsidies on the commodities sold through public distribution system which makes price less. Second is fixed quantity, that is rationing. Government fixes the quantity, that is quota, per head per unit of time on the basis of minimum requirement of a person. Every household can buy the fixed quantity of the commodity according to the number of persons in the family from the fair price shops. Third is fair price shops, that is FPS. Government sell these commodities through fair price shops, popularly known as ration shops. The government supplies these commodities to owner of these shops according to the number of ration cards registered with each shop.